Hi everybody. I don't know how long I can have my projects down on the floor like this before Suki comes along. She's prowling the perimeter. That's her pile of toys in there. One of her pile of toys that we use that room to throw things up in the air, and she just leaps up really high and catches them. It's pretty incredible. That table is on our deck, and then I brought it in, and I have two outdoor plants sitting there trying to hold them over until the spring, so we'll see what happens. I can't remember what kind of plants they are. But anyway, hi, I'm Renee. Thanks for joining me. I am Renee PGH on Ravelry. I want to remember to say that. And I'm on Instagram under this name, Adventurer Knits. I just wanted to give an update while I have the house to myself. I have the remnants of a very bad cold, and the last time I was talking about travel, we ended up, here she is. We ended up delaying, delaying, I guess, same thing. The dive trip, because we both, my husband and I both had bad colds, and yeah, it didn't make any sense. You can't dive with a cold. So I finished this a while ago, this cowl, and I wanted to make sure I talked about it because it's a one skein project. I'm going to get my Ravelry refreshed here. My goal for this skein of yarn. Oh yeah, okay. Because I think this is a free pattern. I think, don't quote me on that, but I'll take this off in a second, a really, not an oversized cowl. I wanted a one skein cowl project that would show off this beautiful skein of yarn from La Bien-Aimée that I bought during the Pittsburgh Fiber Arts Festival, my first festival. And so I didn't want a whole lot of texture, and I wanted something simple and that would be closer to my neck, so that when I had my coat on, I could, if I wanted to, like pull it and have it tucked into my neck. And yeah, no, let's leave that alone. So yeah, I love it. It's easy on, easy off. It doesn't mess up your hair necessarily. You can even put it on and off with a ponytail. It's called the Near Plus Deer Cowl by Purl Soho. Don't you love Purl Soho patterns? And look, yeah, it's just a rib, and the ends curl. Oh my God, this is so soft. What kind? It's the Merino DK, so I think it's superwash. And I love it. I absolutely love it. So yeah, I highly recommend this as a gift knit if you need one. It's very rhythmic. I think it's like an 8x3 or something like that rib. And I just adore it. I would make these again. And I haven't been knitting a lot in Merino. I know this is Merino DK, but it's just reminding me, like, yeah, Merino's nice. So that's that. I believe that I had started my Florence Miller step-by-step cardigan the last time we talked. And I wanted to show you where I am and talk about the button band challenge. Boy, have I learned a lot about button bands in the making of this. You're going to see this, that it doesn't have the button band that is in the pattern, and I'll tell you why. It's it only has one side of a button band, and I used a different kind of button band, and it is not perfect. And you know, why have I started it there? I'll get to that. But this is the step-by-step cardigan what size am I making? This is out of Lion Brand Fisherman's wool. I don't say what size I'm wearing, so I'll put it here. I have it marked in the paper pattern that I have. This has been blocked a couple times for different reasons, but I started the sleeve because I think it's here. Maybe? I started the sleeve because I wanted to see how wide it was. Yeah. And I added a couple more stitches because I didn't think it was, the circumference was wide enough, and it turns out it is wide enough. So I'll end up decreasing it probably from the start. I think I added like 5 more stitches or something. I cast on, I think it said to cast on 6 stitches, and I cast on 11 but then I blocked it the first time to see, and then I think it's fine, but we'll see. I want it to be oversized. It's not that oversized. I love the length that it is. It's slightly, just a tiny bit still damp on the, I'm gonna put this over here for a second, on the back, but I'll just show you if I can the length. Just tuck this in to show you my waistline. Perfect. I had tried this on before doing the button band. Yeah, I love the length. So I started the double knit button band. I could not get it. It was like reading a foreign language. So I tried a couple other videos, and by then I was like, I don't like this. I don't like it. The process, I don't want to learn it. I have rarely gotten that way in my knitting journey. So I know that if I'm feeling like that, I got to search for another button band. So I started looking at patterns that I've seen before, the Crayabea, and then I went to my tried and true Tin Can Knits and thought Tin Can Knits would not create a fussy button band. What are they doing on their cardigans? And I looked and saw that they were doing this kind of button band, which is a 2x2. Is it? Yeah. I ended up messing it up a little bit at the end, or actually that was the beginning. That's fine. I'm not changing it. This is my prototype per se. Okay. How was I going to do this V-neck button band? I had the cable and the needles already in. I had already picked up every stitch in every row as per the double knit button band instructions. So I thought, I wonder if I start, the only way I can think of doing this is because, you know, on the other side, I have to put button holes in, and I'm a beginner. So I thought I just want to do the half with no buttons. I was following the Tin Can Knits instructions, but that was for a crew neck. So I just thought I'll start in the middle of the back. This is not really, it's a couple stitches off the middle because I was in pattern and I wanted to stop in pattern. And then I'm gonna go back, now that I'm done, I'm gonna go back and add the rest of the button band, starting at where I left off, because I have all these stitches, not all of them, but yeah, I have these stitches picked up already and on hold. How do I join this button band with the other button band? I don't know. I don't know. I think I'll start it and Kitchener it together. Probably. That's what I'll probably do. Again, prototype. I just want to complete this and enjoy it. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and I'll be fine. I'll be absolutely fine. I'm very proud that I found a button band that I can use. I followed the 10 row, which is pretty long. But yeah, I don't care. I think it's fine. I like it. I'm very excited to wear it. This Fisherman's wool, I have loved working with it. I've just broken into my second large ball skein to do the button band. It's got lanolin in it, and it is the only yarn that I'm telling you, Suki is crazy for. She will take that half-pound skein of yarn and just disappear with it. We looked up why cats are attracted to lanolin in particular, and there is a reason that I don't remember, but that's why she's so attracted to this yarn. And so I'm going to make her like a mouse or a stuffed animal toy out of it when with the leftovers. Hopefully I'll have some leftovers. But yeah, it's an inexpensive yarn. I would love to, because this is not the thickest fabric, I would love to make another cardigan. I might make the Tin Can Knits one. I had to buy that pattern, which I'm fine with, the classic cardigan, just to get some idea of how to do this button band and how many rows. I would love to make that. It is a crew neck, which I didn't think I wanted, but because I don't know. I don't know why I like V-necks now on cardigans. I really never ever wore them. But so yeah, I am so happy. Perfection is really not the goal here. Learning a ton is a goal. I did pin this down a little bit because, oh, here's the other thing. In the Tin Can Knits pattern, you're not picking up every stitch for the button band. So when I did this way, it was bunching a little bit, but then the blocking and then pinning this down a little bit. I never pin anything, but I just pinned this down a little bit, and it was fine. It cured that, because I thought, well, I've already picked up all these stitches. I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. So super happy, lots of learning going on here that I can apply to other projects. And it was funny, I was just watching the Creabea's latest episode. I love her podcast, don't you? Like the inspiration, that Staffen pattern, I can't wait to try the vest. Oh, she just inspires me so much. Her energy, I just get so excited. And I was looking at all her button bands on all her projects, her cardigans. So it was funny. She does a button band like this. I don't know what this is called, ribbed button band. I was even thinking of making a button band and then sewing it on, which Tin Can Knits gives you the directions for. Okay. Up next, I think I might have talked about this for travel knitting. I don't know if I started it or not. But speaking of Tin Can Knits, I started another flax sweater, but it's like the Flax Sweater Light in this fingering weight summer yarn, because I started this so I could take it on my scuba diving trip. This is being done in the Purl Soho Santolina, and in the, I think it's called Teal Tide. It's like cotton, linen, flax, something. I'll put the breakdown here. This was repurposed from a t-shirt I was trying to make as a real newbie early on that was beyond my capability. And so I ripped it out, and I'm loving this. I did the ribbing in the collar without going down a needle size. I forgot. And my question is, will I be able to go back and rip this out? It's leaning for some reason. But that would probably relax, I think. Can I rip it out and do it again with a smaller needle in the end? I don't know how that works with a cast on. But anyway, I'm loving this fabric. I love this Santolina. And so I'm just going to keep going on this, obviously. I'm not working on both things at the same time. I'm concentrating on the cardigan, and then I'll go to this later. But there's no rush with it, obviously, since it's a summer fabric. But I love working on it. Oh, here's the tag. I forgot, it's attached to a ball. Okay, 70% organically grown cotton, 20% rayon from bamboo, and 10% hemp. It's so light. It's not like regular cotton. It's spongy and stretchy, and Purl Soho is having their 25% off sale now. So I can't recommend this enough. It's delightful. And you can see, you know, that hemp in there. I don't know, I guess you can't. Flecks of white, really cool. I love it. But yeah, let me know about the cast on neckline. Can I do that over? Just like rip it out and then work from the bottom up, put a lifeline on? Excuse me, a lifeline in? I don't know. Then I decided I would try to make a mitten using the Lamb's Pride wool that I got from the New York Sheep and Wool Festival. Lamb's Pride. This is called Prairie Fire. I wanted to get more of this, but I could only find like one skein. Is that a hole in there? No, it's a loose piece of, I gotta pull that back in. These are by no means perfect. I always have to like fill in holes there. But, you know, I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for learning skills, learning how to fix things to my ability, and then learning from that. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the free pattern, Tin Can Knits, the world's simplest mittens. I didn't think I was capable of doing a mitten because I tried when I was very, very, very new at the beginning of the year. I couldn't do it. This is done on tiny circulars until I get to the top, until I get to the thumb, and I do those on DPNs, and I'm getting better at that. This is a size 7 needle, worsted weight yarn, and I may or may not have done a size 5. I forget sometimes to do the smaller ribbing, so I can't tell. I don't think I did. This one, the pair, this one is a little longer, but and this isn't as deep, but this was my first one, and then I got better on the second one. So I'm making one for my daughter in another color of the Lamb's Pride, and she has a completely different sized hand than I do. It's shorter, and I used, look at that top, oh my God. I have to, I didn't like finalize pulling in everything and anchoring it down because she needs to try these on. And if I need to adjust the height or the length, then I will. But what is this colorway called? I don't recall. But I love this yarn because it's wool and 35% mohair. So it has mohair built right in. And yeah, so anyway, I made this, and I'll have her, we took some measurements of her hand when she was here, but I'll have her try it on when I see her again to get it right. I use these mittens. I don't use mittens like when I go out and about in the world because I lose them all the time. If I'm doing anything, I'll have fingerless mittens on that I don't have to take on and off. I use these to take Suki for a walk. She's sitting here very nicely, taking a nap on the ottoman. But I use these to take her for a walk outside around the yard. She climbs trees, and these are like impenetrable. Is that right? Impenetrable. With the wind and stuff, like with the mohair, I love it. I don't think I could wear this yarn on my body. It is prickly for me, but it's not prickly on my hand. And I am going to try to get a hat out of whatever I have left over. I am finding I have to reinforce where the thumb meets, even though I'm picking up a stitch, but that's fine. You know, I will refine that as I go. I'm just so happy to have these mittens. I didn't block them. I just started wearing them. I just didn't feel like I needed to block them. At some point, I will hand wash them, and then they'll be blocked. Yeah, so that's Tin Can Knits free pattern. And yeah, it's a Tin Can Knits fall/early winter. Okay, what do I have next? I'm looking at my Ravelry. What do I want to talk about? Oh, I'm gonna look at favorite. I wanted to do a episode of, I thought it would be interesting to look back on my favorites, which is voluminous, to see like, what did I save when I was brand new knitter that I thought I wanted to knit, compared to now, knowing what I know, having a better feeling for the difficulty level or what I'm interested in or the yarns I'm interested in. I think that would be funny. So I may still do that. But what do I have coming up? Okay, I'm very excited about finishing this cardigan. I may want to do another one, you know, in January or something with a different yarn and play around with that. So that could be really fun. Again, as I said, I might do this pattern again, or I would probably do the Tin Can Knits one. We love Tin Can Knits because all of their patterns, it seems like, the flax sweater, the mittens, and the cardigan all have specs for different types of yarn. You can use whatever yarn you have, and it's brilliant. Anyway, so I was watching Emma the Botanical Knitter. If you haven't checked out her podcast, please do. I'll have it linked below. I love her going to a festival podcast and just her podcast at home. She's from Minnesota. And the thing that she wore to Rhinebeck that I saw her making in her videos caught my attention, and I have to make it. It's a vest by Park Williams called the Gushy Garter Vest. Now, at first glance, this looks like a pattern for, you know, trendy, youngish people. But then you start to look at the projects, and the projects are being made by many different types of people. Here's Emma's. Can't see it very well because of the color. She actually embroidered hers on the back. This is what she wore, one of the things she wore to Rhinebeck, which would have been perfect for the weather. That's what's attracting it to me. The sample that really got me is this one. It's made, the pattern is made with Kelborn woolens held double. So this one was made with their very bright yellow and a natural. I don't know what I will eventually make mine with, but I do want to make mine with like a cotton, like Kelborn woolens probably. But I want to make one first, like prototype. This is, I guess, what I do. And because I think the idea is to get, let me go back. Yeah, to get a worsted weight in the end. And so I have been seeing a couple podcasters using this Patton's Classic Wool. Here we go. Patton's Classic Wool Worsted. that you can just pick up at Joann's, and they've made full sweaters out of this, and it's lovely. And anyone that's been using this has loved it. One person that I know of is Faith at, I'm drawing a blank. I will put her channel name here. Go watch her. She is blowing it up with her projects. I am so inspired by what Faith is doing. It's insane. I mean, I just love when I see a new episode come up. Like, what is she doing now? But she has made some things with this yarn. And yeah, it's rustic. So a vest is perfect. And you can find it on clearance at Joann's a lot. And so this is like $6.47, and I would just need 2 of these. I have to find this color in another Joann's. I was only able to find one of these at my Joann's, and then there's another Joann's down the way that I'll look. Yeah, so I'm gonna do a prototype of it and see. I guess you have to make some I-cord thingies. But yeah, I just thought it'd be a fun project at some point to come up next. I think if I were to make a a small finished chest measurement 38, so it would give me a little bit of ease. The yardage is 940, so let's see, this is 194, so let's call it 200, 2, 4, 6, 8, I don't know, 5 balls. So I may order some from Joann's. You can order it online and get a discount. So yeah, that's my loose plan. And then I have this special skein of yarn, Explore Knits and Fibers. Look at that. It's called Cookie Dough. And it's their Denali sock, which is 80% superwash, 20% nylon. Cookie dough, I should say. And it's got speckles of, I guess, chocolate chip color too. And I've got some other fingering yarn that's like a dark blue teal. And I just thought that I could make a Sophie scarf, but like a shawl. I saw someone do this. If I can remember, if I can find the channel name, I will list it here. But she did something of a shawl, but she did the increases not every X number of rows, like the pattern says, but a lot sooner. So a lot quicker, and it made it wider. And since I have other sock yarn, I thought maybe I could start it with one of the colors. This would go in most of it in the middle, and then I could decrease with the other color, but I would hold each sock yarn with some Surrey alpaca for the first time. Now I bought this to make the cloud drift cowl, which I haven't made yet. So I thought I might use this for the start of the shawl, and then I would buy a color like, I don't know, white, ivory, light brown, maybe light brown for this, and then the other. So I don't have to buy all of the Surrey at once. I got this at my local yarn shop, the Moon and Yarn Craft Room. It's called Uma.
Okay, I found this on the web, for I thought I might use this.
Surrey, I don't need you. Go away. Siri in my iPad thinks I'm talking to it. It's called Uma. It's by Amano. And it's 37% baby Surrey, 37% super kid mohair, and 20% mulberry silk. And this is 230 yards, 25 grams. I did a sample, not a sample, a swatch with the, I don't have it down here, but it's like a halfway in between a dark teal and a navy blue sock yarn I was going to make the Go-Go Dynamo out of. And when I held it with this and did like the Sophie scarf garter stitch, I loved it. So yeah, it might be something I start as just an ongoing thing in the background. And it'll just be my first time holding something. I think that's it. I forgot to mention in my last video that I signed up for a knitting retreat. This was like a while ago. I wanted to see Gudrun Johnston. There was a retreat she was doing and I wanted to attend, but there was something about the dates that didn't work. Then I saw her advertising, or Vogue Knitting advertising, that there was a retreat in Santa Fe, New Mexico with Gudrun Johnston, Tressa Widener. She is the person who made the blue water sweater, the blue water cowl, the cowl I made, and a third designer whose name I will put here because I'm forgetting. It's a pretty short retreat. You get there on Sunday, there's a dinner, and then there's classes Monday and Tuesday. It's Fair Isle knitting, and it's color work knitting, different classes. So there's a class on Monday in the morning and on Tuesday in the morning. There are some presentations that Gudrun and maybe Tressa or the other designer will be making. Just really chill. I think there's a sunset train ride on Monday. I forget which day, probably Monday. And then you leave Wednesday morning. So I have not tried color work. I mean, I guess I have in stripes, but I would love to be in a smaller setting, me with my English style throwing technique, get tips on, because I knit that way, how can I knit color work, the two color Fair Isle color work. I can't wait. It's going to be very low key, but fun, very special to me. And I can't wait to meet the attendees. Yeah, I'm delighted. So this is like in the middle of December. It's somewhere around the 15th. It's 14th to 17th or something. And so that'll be great. I'm not going to do Vlogmas because of that trip, first of all, but also I've grown children and we don't have Christmas here. We go to my daughter's for Christmas, and yeah, I'm just not going to, I don't have a desire to record every day. I may make videos every week in December, certainly after my retreat. But yeah, I mean, maybe it'll just be a weekly thing. I don't have any Advents, so I'm not doing any Advent knitting. But I'll enjoy watching those that are doing Vlogmas. It will be fun to watch. Yeah, so let me know what you're knitting on, and I'd love to know anything you have to say about button bands, and how I might join. Again, I think I'm just going to Kitchener in the back, and I'm going to be listing in the notes below a couple YouTubers that have about as many subscribers as I do, roundabouts, and that I've been watching and enjoying, that I just wanted to highlight. I watch a lot of knitting podcasts and booktube podcasts, since I have a booktube channel. And so yeah, I just thought I would list them as I go, and people that I enjoy, that I want to share, that the algorithm might not be showing you. It's so fun to check out other podcasts, isn't it? when somebody makes a list or mentions other podcasts. So yeah. Thanks so much for watching. Have a happy Thanksgiving if you're in the United States. I hope you have some time to chill and be with family and have fun. Ours is extremely low key. Everybody's busy. Ryan's in Pittsburgh. Ryan's in Harrisburg now. And my daughter's going to be very busy on Thanksgiving Day. So ours is going to be very chill, which is also fun. And I will talk to you on the next one. Thanks for joining me. And I'll see you on the other side of Thanksgiving.